That's all really education's meant to be, is just a way to help you remember what you already know. Because you have a vast treasure of knowledge and experience at the disposal of your little fingertips, man. I'm telling you. It's all right there inside of this beautiful work of heart that we be. Now, what's the secret to opening the key to getting that life going so you don't need education, so you already are, educated beyond belief and you know it all? And everything's known inside of you, too. See, that doesn't mean, it won't ever be bad or won't ever be blue. It just means you see the flow of it. And then you can let go of it, and it's neither good nor bad, nor ugly, nor indifferent, or anything like that. It's expansive. It's in this quiet little moment between the rhythmic beats of the harmony of the great heart of love that creates us all. It's right there in that one little moment where it all begins. When you make that first move in the romance of heart, when you finally say, okay, I'm putting these shades away, I'm throwing them away, I'm melting away anything else that might be there guarding and protecting my little heart. Because I want to know what's in the flow, and I want to be in the flow, don't you know? Because I'm tired of living this way that I got to decide everything. That's such horse shit, man. Well, I don't want to give horse shit too much credit now, But we've learned a lot groveling around on the ground now, haven't we, babies, And we can melt the value of that experience down into the value of love that took us through it, if nothing else, okay? The steady mother love that just kept bringing life back into being no matter what she had to do to get us hang on through and through. She did it too, man, always. You see, there's a reason why we just so worship romance in the 3D, but get, after a while, so disappointed in it, don't you see? Because, we stop there. And that's not the happy ending. That's just the beginning. The moment you can really feel love in yourself, with and for another person, as well as within yourself, as if you are the same person, though one's one form and one's another, and one thinks this way and one thinks that. None of that shit matters in that moment, see? You're together, this love is just surrounding you both, trying to make a dream come true and making it come true in the process of trying. And fulfilling itself right there in that moment. Holy guacamole, that's what people live for. Yet it's just one tiny little moment in time, yeah. Yet there is a suggestion of where we're supposed to begin. Not end. Right off into the sunset and live happily ever after, but, in a way we do. If we don't just stop with two. If we let this love expand and grow and see where it flows and see where it takes us, don't you know? Now the suggestion is in the memories of our heart, of the way back when humans first began here, And we lived in these mountains tall, baby, way up high in the sky, yeah. But there was no clouds. It was always clear. It was always just right. The shine came from inside, not from outside, so it was twice as bright. Yet, and we were twice, 3 times, 4 times as large, maybe 5 times, I don't know. But we were big, but yet elegant, gorgeously spectacular, beautiful, and not dense at all. We had feeling. We had liquidity. We had motion, we had emotion, we had materialism, I guess you'd call it, a material substance, let's say, not a desire for consumer goods at all. We didn't even know what such shit was. There weren't any consuming. There was just the sharing of the great wealth of our love. And we were equally and equitously in love with every person there, wherever we were living. It was paradise we were given. And we were allowed to stay there for quite some time so we could settle into the flesh in a real gradual way, Well, that's what we're starting to remember today in the flow of Spring Creek here on the Hazy Radio Network, rocking this little radio show you'll ever come to know. We're just starting to wake up to the conscious memories of our presence of heart in the beginnings, where we never left. From there we dream it into being everywhere else. See, there was some wise old beans amongst us youngsters here in this reality. that said, okay, we're going to head into an area called fatality. We're going to live and die. And, there's going to be this thing called time and shit. And we're going to have to put up with it. But in order to do that without caving in the whole reality or even slightly endangering that potential into being, let's just not do that. Let's create this holographically. So little by little and lot by lot, sometimes huge steps, sometimes this little tiny thing, you never knew what it was going to do. We just flowed with it. But little by little, we diminished ourselves into a dream. A dreaming circumstance we now call the third density or the 3D world, where we could be the little tiny midget beings that we are right now. I don't care how big you are. You might be 7 foot. Guess what? You're a midget. There's evidence of it all over this earth that there's been a whole lot larger presences of person here than we see in the 3D of now, huh? You got to think about these great big old monuments, the gigantic nature of them, some of the ancient stuff, a little bit that's left laying around they haven't tried to disguise in some way. But listen, babies, don't worry about it, because today's the day, and this is the moment of now. This is when we open up. This is when we realize we take the quiet side of that passion that we've experienced in these loving times in this life, and we become that passion in that quiet moment of sweet fulfillment when all the dreams are fulfilled. And babies, in that feeling, if we can just expand and grow in that, we fall in love with everything again, and everything is made right, not only in the 3D, but throughout all reality, all of creation. See, that's why it's so much hinged on us, because we're this little shrimpy bunch that, are out to lunch and supposed to be the children of the universe. But we had to learn how to ground this energy first, how to be passionate and steady in that passion. How to live in fear and get beyond it, dear, etc., How to go into powerlessness so we realize the power of our innocence. And we get through anything that way, by realizing the power of the innocence one way or the other, either in the life you were living or the life as you lived it beyond this one. And like I say, when you die, you realize how closely associated these parallels are. It's like the dead are living right here with us. And I know a lot of you are opening it up to communication with the so-called dead, which are living and living in that land of love, no matter, how their circumstances appear to be. They are living in that place where it's just continual love. And you're aware and present in that. And part of the reason you're having communication with them is so that you can recognize that love exists here in the 3D too. It's not parallel. It's not separated. And neither are the dead from the living. See, the dead or the living proves that life goes on living, right? When you can have communication with the dead, then they're not dead. They just change form, figurement, but they can still communicate. They can still take a materially appearing presence if they want to, etc. You see, it is all about what your eyes will allow you to see in the 3D. But your eyes, like your heart, have been shielded. Like you've been wearing blinders and shades that only allow certain things to be seen and known. Well, babies, we just dissolve those shields. As we dissolve the shields from our heart, all these other shields dissolve away too. And again, how do we do that? Well, it's in a rock and roll sort of way. We just let this rock and roll music play across our heart, man, and we just see the living work of art in it. The cunning little coyote joke in every bit of it. I don't care if it's the Beach Boys or the Lizard Kings, man. It's all got that sweet innocence in it. You can't disguise it away. It's there in a multi-dimensional way. You can screw with it. You can mess with it. You can remaster it. You can take half the energy out of it. You can't disguise the multi-dimensional presence of truthful love in all of this music. What does that mean? Well, this music suggests to you in every bit of its formations here, the real art of creation. See, it gets you moving in a flow. It gets you back to the rhythm of the heart and soul. Even if you just sit in your chair and bounce around, I mean, it's got you going, man. It's got you flowing. It's suggesting to you what might really be here and what that flow might be, especially if you can hear it musically. You see, that's the divine harmony. This is what rock and roll is a shadow of. A glimmer, but an amazing one. As we got away with it in a real square black and white world way back when. We got Elvis out, we got, the Big Bopper and Chantilly Lace and all that kind of stuff, man. Which was, boy, pretty radical for its time, let me tell you. People were still kind of puritanical in those days and very militaristic about it, very robotic in certain behaviors, I mean, they still talked about being the land of the free and they could go camping and fishing on the weekends and that was all beautiful, right? They didn't see that they were all just locked together in it, and nobody dared hardly breathe a word of dissension anywhere, and if you did, you better watch out, because the clowns were going to come out of the closet and terrify you, man. So it's pretty radical to have music like that busting open back in those days. As crazy and as corny as it sounds today, it's like, wow, these were the willing saints that would sacrifice themselves to the gods of death and destruction in order to open this heart of humanity, in order to allow ourselves to musically get back in tune with the divine harmony of the heart and begin moving away from this dreaming place and back into the dream that we live in, which is the real reality. We call spirit, we call the parallel world, we call, paradise, heaven, whatever. You know what I mean? It's all the same thing, really. There is no division. Paradise exists right where we are, wherever that is. Paradise is in our heart, And if you need to experience at that level, well, now I've given you several clues today on this thrilling Thursday. You probably got chills up down your spine now, baby. Well, you should have, okay? I'm just joshing around, but you could, it wouldn't hurt you at all now, would it? Realize the creative aspect of this heart resides in that pure loving moment where you just embrace all life. You know what I'm talking about, baby, where it doesn't matter who that lover is or where that lover's at in time or whatever. It's the same lover in every instant. You ever realize that? I have. So it doesn't. All that matters is that moment. That moment we come to life. We come back to life. We live in our passion and nothing else matters. We're uniting with the universe in a suggested sort of way that just suggests a moment of our reality. And test your endurance. Can you really be this? Can you really be creator creation as the babies of creation? Can you take on this expansive wallop of love, whatever you want to call it, dollop of love, and just let it spread. Just let it start there in that quiet moment and become then, boom, the symphony of life. The Big Bang indeed, and then some. Now they're trying to disprove the Big Bang because they realize that's where the symphony began. Whoops. Oh, baby, we're having a little fun with it today, ain't we, man? In that Coyote sort of way. Hanging out here. It's a picnic kind of day today at Spring Creek, isn't it, man? We're dreaming out quite the play, okay? And it's really cool. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. I hope you are too, babies. Joined in the heart as we are, man. This is the other thing you realize as you open your heart, is you let go of all the fears that guard and protect it. And let it out. You realize it's not just you. It's a unified heart, man. It's just like the living center of everything right there inside of each one of us. It's amazing shit. And it's real as all get out, man. All you gotta do is live it. Give up the bullshit. That's all. Let it dissolve away. Let this passionate love grow. Remember what you are. Remember from which we have grown. Remember our beginning. Because that's Spring Creek. And guess what? Once you've begun, you've always begun. It never stops. It's just the beginning. Oh, Grandpa, helping you get it clear, dear, here on the Hazy Radio Network as that Spring Creek flow. Here you go. I tell you.